part two of how my aunt's boyfriend gave me puff puff, essayed me at 11 and a half, and when my aunt came home, she thought it was my cycle. So my aunt gets home from work, and she hadn't been home all day. Um, but she left earlier, that morning. And so keep in mind that the assault happened, it had to have happened around 11, something like that, because I remember The Price is Right was on in the room that the assault took place in. And so because of the tremendous amount of trauma that I was in, my body shut down all of that time. I didn't eat that day. I didn't do anything. I literally just like passed out. And when my aunt gets home, she wakes me up and she's like, "Girl, you've been asleep all day." Um, and she immediately looks at me and she screams, and it terrified me. She's like, oh my God, I can't believe it. And I look down and my bed is full of blood, like literally blood just everywhere. And she's screaming, and I'm freaking out. And she's like, "Oh, no, 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 it's not what you think, whatever, whatever, like calm down, it's all right." And I'm still like, I don't even know how to process what I'm seeing, because what the freak is going on. And my aunt is excited. She is instantly like, "Oh my God, let me call your mom." And she calls my mom, and I'm like, oh, I'm like, I'm still like kind of trying to figure out what's going on, because keep in mind, I was just essayed, and it was very much so traumatic, painful experience. And so I don't know what the hell, I don't know what's going on. And so I go with my aunt to the bathroom. She's trying to clean me up while she's like on the phone. She calls my mom. And y'all remember the long cordless phones that you would drag around the house. And my aunt lived in a project, Johnson Home Projects to be exact, in North Philly. And so this is a small house, and she's able to like actually like literally drag this phone. And she's talking to my mom, and my mom is they're excited that my cycle is on. But if you know my mom, you know that although she's excited about this cycle, she's also wondering, like, you weren't home all day, like you went to work, my daughter was home all day, your boyfriend was there all day, so something is wrong. So the excitement around my period was very much so confusing for me. Number one, I never heard period before. And I don't know, my mom might have been waiting for the time to actually have this conversation with me, because that's not something that you just, like when it happens, it's going to happen. And then that's the opportunity to actually talk about it. So all this talk about this cycle or this period, I'm like, I don't know what y'all are talking about. And I couldn't really process them being excited about something as painful as what I was experiencing. And so it had to be something good that they're talking about. It did, none of the other stuff made sense to me, because what I was going through was far different from the celebration that was going on the other end of the line. Okay. And so I remember my aunt, in her excitement, she's like, "Oh, I'm gonna run you this bath water, and you get in the bathtub, and then I'll talk to you afterwards." And so I remember, getting in the tub, and oh my God, the pain from that alone was excruciating. And I don't know how my aunt could not tell that I was different from the young girl that she left home alone with this monster. I was in so much pain. I don't know how she didn't know, from the wincing or from the look on my face. I don't understand how she didn't catch that. But I'm different, because I paid careful attention to my girls, and careful attention to, even now, anybody that has been in my care. So I don't understand any adult that does not pay attention, or does not have discernment immediately, or sense that something is off. And So y'all, I get in this tub, and I'm in the tub, and the door closes, and I'm weeping silently. And this silence is going to the core of my soul. Like literally my soul was weeping. I had felt this type of pain before, because remember, I was violated at 8. I was molested for years before this actual act took place. And so I was familiar with pain. The level of pain, I don't know if God allowed me to feel that level of pain at that age, because I believe that it's stored somewhere in the back of my mind, because by this time, this level of pain wasn't the same pain. It was it reached to a depth in me that to this day still, and mind you, y'all, I am 52 years old, and last year is when this memory came up out of my storage bin, and I could not even believe the level. And I mind you, it's been there in the back somewhere. But after my stroke in August of 23, all kinds of stuff came out. It's like God rewired or reconfigured me, and I was able to finally understand why I was this broken woman. And it's I get it now, but of course, God got it, you know, and He was able to shield me from the layers. But it wasn't until I had this stroke that I was able to fully process what I was living in. From 2 to 52, y'all. Wow. I survived it, though, to tell my story. So here I go. Give me a second. Okay, so although this was a familiar pain to me, it was a pain that I experienced before. It was definitely a pain that made me cry on another level. It was a silent scream that came from my soul. And I remember sitting there and just weeping, and I couldn't even do anything as far as taking a bath or preparing for, like the clothes that my aunt was about to put on me, because I was in that much pain. But after I'm done, with the bath, my aunt comes in and she's giving me, like the towel, and she's giving me my clothing and all these things. And she introduces me to the products that I'm supposed to use for my bottom. She's actually trying to help me with applying, these tools. And y'all, I was moving away from her. I didn't want her touching me. Understandably, like I didn't want anybody touching me there. And I don't know, I don't remember our conversations at all during that time. I remember that my light went out again. So this is this is a very crucial time in my life, and this moment was so intense that my eyes, I'm sure, just were not the same. How she didn't realize that, I don't know. But I get this pad, and I'm putting it on, and it's time for me to actually go home. And I get in the cab with my aunt, and we go home to my house. And I remember looking my mom's face, when I got home. It was no excitement. She was looking at me like, something is not right about you. I don't know what it is. I can't put my finger on it, but I'm going to get to the bottom of it, because she's excited.